All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome. That was not caught, by the way, Luke, so you can rest easy. Haha! I always unmute me first and wait for you guys to the last second.
I was that close. I was that fucking close.
You and Dreaded have me trained to not unmute you guys first.
Damn it.
But no, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wannabes podcast. I'm Morgan, that's Luke. We review films here on the show. We're live on Twitch and on YouTube, and tonight we are joined by our special guest, Tyler. Thank you so much for joining us. He is our war film movie buff over here. So
Twyla.
yeah, come on, Twyla. But how are you doing tonight, Tyler?
Not too bad. How are y'all doing?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good, thanks.
I'm a sleepy guy, but other than that, I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I took a 4-hour nap after getting home, so I'm wide awake.
Dude, 4
Kill
hours?
him.
That's long for you.
I was tired.
Thank you for getting up. You know,
Yeah.
like, seriously, that's tough. Thank you. Appreciate it. I should
Well.
have taken it. No, I shouldn't have taken a nap. But good call.
All right. Well, with that being said, before we dive into everything, Tyler, as I said earlier, you are our war film movie buff, right? So with that being said, let's give chat a bit of an idea. Let's give YouTube chat and Twitch chat an idea of what your favorites are. So what are some of your favorite war films?
The words right up my mouth.
Okay, well, I have a mass collection of war movies.
He does, guys.
I will not show them to you because that requires me taking my camera off. But I have a few select ones that have been favorites of mine over the years that I usually rewatch time and time
Rebel
again.
Ridge.
All right, age yourself, old man. What are they?
Yeah, the first one I ever saw was The Longest Day.
Okay.
Yep,
good.
the good old classic John Wayne movie.
Except for John Wayne.
Hey, I was a John Wayne fanatic as a kid. All the cowboy movies and whatever else he had.
I'll ruin your childhood on the next show.
Please don't. I already have a lot of things ruined after. Well, we all know what happened with Nickelodeon and Bill Cosby.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Nope. Don't worry. Not gonna do it. Continue.
Yep. Gonna.
And of course, the classic Saving Private Ryan. That's one of my own favorites as well.
Yeah, it's up there.
That's a good one.
Pearl Harbor.
Oh, fuck no.
Oh, come on.
Ooh,
Listen,
shot
if I
down,
want to
Luke.
watch.
Don't
if I
act
want
like
to
you
wa-
don't love the love triangle.
Screw. No way. The only good thing about that movie was the depiction of what happened
Pearl
at Pearl Harbor, more or less.
That's Michael Bay for you.
Yes, the guy who
Explosion.
gets off on explosions.
I'm gonna try and find more shitty war movies. Go ahead.
I also got a couple of foreign films that I have collected over the years. This one is called Tae Gook Gai. It's literally about the Korean film. Korean War.
Yeah. I actually don't think I've seen that one.
It is a massively underrated movie that not many people have seen. I once saw it on TV once upon a time ago as a kid. And yes, that's when they edited all the good stuff out. But it took me, a good couple of years to try and remember and find this stupid movie. I mean, as an adult, of course. Then there's this other Korean movie called My Way. It's supposed to be based off of that one Korean soldier who was drafted into the Imperial Army, then the Russian Army, then the German Army before finally being captured on D-Day by the Americans.
Cool. Very cool.
Again, massively underrated. I don't know a lot of people have seen that one before.
I don't think I have. Have you, Luke?
Which one?
My Way. It's the
I know
it's a underrated war movie regarding like I said, South Korean soldier who was forced to join the Imperial Japanese Army, then the Soviet Army, then the German Army, before being captured by the Allies at D-Day.
Oh, that sounds dope. I have not seen.
Not a lot of people have. And that shows my war movie jar had no stuff.
Yeah, no shit. He's not just watching American films. He's watching all of them.
Yeah, yeah.
Good on you.
So before we dive into our movie review of tonight, which is the 2025 film Warfare. So yeah, there's a theme here, y'all, if you didn't catch the drift. We do have, per usual, some news to dive into. So let's go ahead and switch on over to our news segment and talk about what's happening in the entertainment industry. So
Okay.
with that being said, I have just 4 really simple stories that I'm just kind of curious. I'd like your opinions on. So, the CEO of Warner Bros. Actually announced that Beetlejuice 3 is imminent. Adding the ink might not be dry and on the deals just yet, but they are working on getting themselves a Beetlejuice 3 ready, penned, scripted, everything, and hopefully agreed upon to get made. How do
Isn't
like
that the plan to begin with?
I think
I
it
feel
was,
like-
but I think they were just pending. I think it was pending the success of Beetlejuice.
Okay.
So yeah, how do you guys feel? Like, Tyler, did you see Beetlejuice?
No, I have never been a fan of Beetlejuice at all.
Oh wow,
Wow.
wow.
Surprised.
Beetlejuice is
Okay.
quite nostalgic for me. But how do you? So how do
Dang
both of you feel? Tyler, obviously you
Doesn't
don't
give
care.
a shit.
Hey, listen, I watched the Beetlejuice TV series once upon a time ago.
Yeah.
It's the 90s. I had nothing else to watch, and that's when they had some good stuff. That was not one of the good stuffs. And then I saw the first movie, of course, with Jim Carrey, wasn't it?
No.
No.
Or, wait, who the hell was Beetlejuice then?
Michael Keaton.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
Well, I just wasn't a fan of that movie. It was too...
Are you thinking of The Mask?
That's what
No.
That's
are
Jim
you
Carrey.
sure you're thinking of Beetlejuice now?
Listen, there's only one ghoul with the pinstripe suit. I know who Beetlejuice is.
Okay.
I just got him mixed up with... Yeah,
No worries.
my bad.
Just worth a check. I was also thinking Mask, funny enough. But Luke, you've seen both films.
Yeah.
You and I reviewed it actually. You guys can head on over to YouTube and watch that.
We did.
After the show.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. You should.
Yeah. But how do you feel about a Beetlejuice 3?
I'm excited. I love the first one. I
Mhm.
dug this new iteration that we got. My only thing is I would like to have more Beetlejuice in my Beetlejuice movie.
That's fair. I second that.
I get the it's probably on purpose. Fine, whatever. He definitely serves his role in the new film, and Michael Keaton is always a treat. His character. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, if they're all going to come back and do it again, I'm 100% down. Plus the practical effects and the stuff that they were actually able to get away with in the film. Like I think I mentioned it in the review. I thought this was going to be a PG movie. And I was surprised by not just the fact that it's PG-13, but how much it pushed that envelope and the shit that they did get away with.
It rode the line for sure.
It really did. And it earned every single bit of it. So if they're gonna do that again, yeah, I'm down. That's right up my alley. Sign me up.
PG-13 movies can get away with more stuff than usual nowadays.
Yeah, you would be surprised. I'm telling you, even by PG-13 standards, this movie got away with some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Pulled it off quite nice.
Yeah.
It's not like Indiana Jones with the face melting scene, that's for sure.
And that's PG. That's PG. Jaws. That's PG. You know what I mean? Things used to be a lot more hardcore back in the day, kids. So it was nice to get a little refresher of that with Beetlejuice in 2024 or 2023.
Yeah.
So that was nice. Awesome. You give me more of that. I'm on board.
Brenna, I'm also kind of here for it. I'm curious to see what they're gonna do because there is, I think, some plot, some avenues for a plot. Definitely want more Beetlejuice, and we'll see what happens. So yeah,
not a wannabe Beetlejuice centric plot with the bride type of shit. I actually want an actual Beetlejuice plot. If the fucking Maitlands, no, not the Maitlands. What the fuck are they?
Oh shit. No,
I
I'm
know.
drawing a blank. You just said
I
the
know.
wrong name, so now it's throwing me off.
Well, the Maitlands are the ghosts in the first one.
Yeah, I know.
But
that's
if Winona Ryder and fucking Jenna Ortega want to come back and we want to do the whole thing with that family again, cool. But I want that to be the B story, not the A story.
now. I still think it needs to be Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. They have to
Oh
do
yeah,
triple Beetlejuice for the title.
100%.
So at least we're on the same wavelength for that.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
not
at least
giving up
encourage
any more
that.
marketing ideas because they never listen to me. And I gave them gold for Deadpool. They don't want to fucking listen. So keep my ideas to myself.
Of course they don't listen. They're a bunch of jerks.
You know who has been listening? Marvel about the Young Avengers. Anyway,
Shut up. Move on. This is supposed to be a
I'm
family friendly
I'm here to trigger you
fucking
like every week about
show.
that, Luke.
All right. Enough.
All
I'm
right.
still. It hasn't happened yet. There's one more. Well, there's a whole nother season that they're filming, but it hasn't happened yet. Like there was obviously the little sprinkle in there where I was about to lose my mind, but it hasn't come full circle. I hope it never fucking does.
We'll see. We'll see.
Moving on.
But
You still need to
speaking of-
watch Daredevil anyway, so
Yeah. But speaking of family friendly guys, are either of you like how big of a Aladdin fans were you guys growing up?
I watched the first movie, the TV series, the spin-offs. Well, not spin-offs, but direct DVD
Return of Jafar.
videos.
Okay.
Yes,
yeah.
there we go.
There's 3 of them,
Did-
I think.
Something like that.
There's one that was in theaters. There's Return of Jafar, and I want to say there's another one. I don't know for sure though. But yeah, no, I'm an Aladdin fan.
Yeah, it had to involve his dad. I think it was the 1,101 Thieves or whatever.
Oh yeah, something like that. Yeah, that rings a very faint bell.
I
But-
never saw Return of Jafar or the other movie, and I watched the show too. Love the game.
I watched the show. I love the show. I watched all of it. But I bring up Aladdin, right?
Not Will
Because
Smith's.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
I have issues. I have a love-hate relationship with that film. It's better
No,
than
I just
Lion-
haven't watched it. I have no
it's-
idea.
It's better than Lion King. I give it that.
Oh, well.
Anything's better than Lion King, really, but moving on.
but
Well,
I
okay, minus Snow White. I'm going to rip on that all day if I can.
I'm sorry you actually saw that.
I never watched it. I'm still ripping on
Oh.
it, though.
Oh, well. Don't be an incel. Watch it first, then shit on it.
Nope. I'd rather save my time, money, and sanity.
well,
Go
I
ahead,
bring up
fucking-
Aladdin though because we all know it's like a new age of adaptions, right? And we're
Sure.
getting an Aladdin
or bad?
adaptation.
We just got one.
No, this is different. This one's
Okay.
different. So, basically, this is titled Aladdin the Monkey's Paw. Now, this is a horror adaptation of
Oh,
of the Middle Eastern
okay.
folktale about
it's a part of the
Aladdin.
Poohverse.
Yes.
Yes. Continue.
It begins production next month and couldn't be further away from the 1992 Disneyfied version of the folktale.
Can't wait.
But what I have here for us is this new live action adaptation is being touted as a dark supernatural reimaging of the original
Sure.
legend and is set to star Nick Sagar, maybe Sager, but Nick Sagar is what I went with first. So I'm going to say that. Ricky Norwood,
Seagal.
Montana Manning, and Bradley Stryker. Stryker will also produce and direct from a script by Charlie McDougall. So production will take place actually in the UK where the film is set. And yeah, Deadline revealed the film synopsis, which reads, a modern-day Londoner Aladdin inherits an ancient monkey's paw, believed to grant wishes, only to discover that the desire comes at a soul-crushing price. As those around him fall victim to its curse, he must confront a growing evil and the demonic force that feeds on every wish.
Yeah, monkey's paw. Yeah. Okay. I guess it's not a bad
It's like
idea.
Aladdin, but like very Aladdin adjacent with that description.
Well, sure. I mean, because it's the monkey's paw, just with Aladdin in it, you know. But like,
Yeah, but in
Um,
London, it's Middle Eastern folktale, not
half-
even in the Middle East anymore.
I think that's just where they're based out of. You know what I mean? That might have been a big reason why they fucking did Winnie the Pooh first. That way they could just use British actors and shit. I don't know. I spitball here. I have no idea for sure. That is not based in fact. But anyway,
Which the Winnie the Pooh is getting a second film. I
yeah,
don't know if you knew that.
I thought they had already made it. I'm gonna be honest. So we've got
They might have. Hold on.
we got Pooh,
that.
we got Popeye, we're getting Aladdin. Who am I missing? Peter Pan. We got Peter Pan.
I
think those are the 4 right now. And this is all leading up to this guy doing his own Freddy versus Jason type of thing. He's making all these movies with all these monsters, and he's going to have them all fight eventually. That is the plan. That actually is fact.
Oh, that's
Wasn't there also a Mickey Mouse one, or am I mistaken?
Oh yeah.
No, you know what? Yes, but I don't know if that
Steamboat
was...
Willie. They did Steamboat Willie.
Yeah, did they do that? Did the same people do it though?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Huh.
And actually, there might be a Mickey Mouse one coming, I think. But this sounds cool. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
it's very
I don't
different.
know. It's a pretty tried and true horror formula. So just based off that, the story wise, anyway, makes a lot more sense than probably everything else that they've been pointing out. And yeah,
they're usually so bad, but in like such an entertaining way.
Well, that's the idea, right? It's kind of what we did, right? It's just we know what we're doing, but hopefully at the end of the day, you could be like, oh, well, that looked kind of sick. This hack has a little bit more professionalism though than what I'm used to. I'm just being honest. They definitely are more. I don't know how to say this without making my stuff sound like shit. They're just they have a little bit more experience. I'm just gonna put it that way. And I'm excited for them because I love seeing that type of shit. And while I'm not immediately entrenched in the Poohverse, I'm going to have to because I want to see all these fuckers fight. It's going to be cool.
Well,
it's going to be a good time.
I personally never seen those movies.
One of those, it's the Under the Influence type of movie, Tyler. 100%.
Well, then somebody needs to give me a ginormous blunt then.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. Come hang out with me Sunday. I got you.
All right.
I'll figure it out.
Any other thoughts?
I might have to go to my must freezer.
Any other thoughts,
Nope.
gentlemen, before I jump to the next movie news?
Oh, I have nothing more to say about Aladdin. I'm good.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. I didn't want to cut anybody off. All right. So, I'm pretty sure y'all know it, but did y'all like the 2000 movie, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon?
No, but I have a very interesting love-hate relationship with that director, Ang Lee. So
I do not.
Have you seen Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Tyler?
It's been 15 years. I can't remember that.
It's been a minute. So I'm pretty sure it's Chow Yun-Fat, Michelle Yeoh.
25 years since it released.
Yeah. And my beef is that the director Ang Lee makes this beautiful, influential martial arts film, and then his immediate movie after that is Hulk, and it sucks. That bums me out that I got this Oscar winner helming a Hulk movie, and he drops the ball a little bit. But Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon it's a good movie. The sequel's pretty okay too.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I guess I'm a fan.
So I
Dang,
asked... Go ahead, Tyler.
Sorry, it seems I'm just missing out on this one. My bad.
No,
you gotta watch more shit, dude.
So
put Pearl Harbor down. Watch Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. All right.
Again, it's been 15
Pearl
years.
Harbor 1,000 times. I know it's your favorite war movie. Just fucking put it down. Watch something else. It's okay. You're allowed. All right. Michael Bay and Pearl Harbor is always going to be there. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, once in a lifetime.
Well, maybe not anymore. Because the reason I asked about Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon is Amazon is developing a new Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon television series with the producers behind Lucifer, Outlander, and For All Mankind.
That tells me that this will probably most likely be a name only, and they're gonna try and tell a whole new story. It just has the name. It's more for the name than anything else. Because like, not that they couldn't get Chow Yun Fat or anybody else to come back. I doubt that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
Right? Maximize the profit if I don't have to pay these Oscar winners money. So I'll reserve my judgment until it comes out and see what kind of tone and shit they're doing, because they're martial arts movies, but they're very much more about like the I guess elegance of it when it comes to their fights, with the wire work and things like that. It's more art than it is John Wick. You know what I mean?
Sure, for sure, for sure. So I'm scrolling something right now trying to see if I can find if there is anything additional released about this new
This sounds like some early pre-development shit. Like, we just acquired the name, we're gonna do this. Look
so
ahead.
the drama comes from writer executive producer Jason Ning, who is like known for Lucifer and The Brother's Son, executive producer Ron Moore from Outlander and For All of Mankind, and Sony Pictures Television. We're we're all under the overall deals for this. So
Well, maybe I'll change my tone a little bit, because Brother's Son does have Michelle Yeoh in it. So if he's got that kind of connection, maybe he can at least get her to come back, and maybe it opens up the door for other
That
original
could be.
casts. So I may have been completely full of shit in that last statement. Stay tuned.
Yeah, so far there doesn't really seem to be any additional information yet, other than executive producing the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon series are Ning, Moore, and Merrill Davis of Tall Ship Productions, Johnny Levin, Roy Lee of Vertigo Entertainment, as well as Hong Wang and Jin Wang for the Wang Dulo estate, and then Ying Lao is co-executive producing. So Ning specifically is repped by UTA, Gotham Group, and Jorn Levine. Moore is repped by CAA and Hansen, Jacobson, Teller. So I don't know that they seem to have a lot of backing, for sure, at least
It's Amazon.
financial backing, because it's Amazon, But that is literally all that we know is who are the heads of this. That's it.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see what more information comes out down the line.
And how full of shit I am.
But the last bit of news is something I think is really exciting. So the Academy of Motion Pictures and Sciences is finally giving stunt performers their due, as it's been announced Best Stunt Design will be an official Oscars category starting with films released in 2027. I think this is actually really long overdue, because stunt performers and everything and stunt designs put in fucking work. So this is I personally am all for this additional category at the Academy Awards.
Yeah, better late than never. Jackie should be the all-time leader in Academy Award trophies. If this had been a category the whole time, I can't wait to see Mission Impossible and John Wick battle it out, and shit like that.
Well, it's not until it's not going to even.
Not until
I
2027.
can't believe that it's not until 2027. Why don't we start it next year?
Right.
That's what I thought was weird about that announcement.
That's got to do with the inner workings of the Academy, but how hard is it to make a new fucking category? All you got to do is be like, hey, by the way,
I'm sure there's legal paperwork in the background that you have to go and amendments you have to go do to all of your legal stuff of how the show works, but that shouldn't take a full 2 years.
No, this sounds like something that should take a month and a half.
It's a bunch of red tape that would sink a battleship. That's all I know.
Honestly, but why? Why is there all this red tape for something as trivial as a fucking category at the Academy Awards?
Yeah, but I'm really excited to see that stunt design and stunt just performers in general are getting an official category, because they do some crazy shit and they put their lives on the line to get that shit.
For 2027 on will be very interesting, because now there's incentive for you to do practical effects and stunts in your film.
Yes.
And yeah, it'll be nice to see if this puts not a stop to CGI, but puts a little bit of a halt on it, so we get more movies that require car chases, fight scenes, all that shit. So yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes. But I just thought about it, given the fact that everything's kind of CGI now, it's a weird time to finally get this going. But then I realized it could actually give the fucking incentive.
Honestly, it just to like kind of give us a minor little like peek to what's coming next for a movie review. If this was coming out next year, I would be floored if like this film wasn't nominated for stunt stuff.
Well, you know,
Because this was there was a lot of practical stuff done even in this film.
I just feel like this means that John Wick, Keanu Reeves is going to do this till he's 90.
I'd watch it.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because obviously I looked through stuff and I saw people commenting about this on Instagram, and everybody's like, "Oh, so this award was specifically designed for Tom Cruise."
I mean, yeah, he's going to do it till he's 90.
I am curious
but
about
you're not lying.
I'm curious about the deeper info and requirements for this award though, because it says specifically best stunt design, not necessarily best stunt performance.
Right.
So I am curious, what are the details behind this award category?
Yeah,
How many broken bones on set?
So, like, not necessarily Jackie Chan getting the award as much as it is 8711 gets the award. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
here I have a full article from IGN. Let me see.
But yeah, that's a good point. I wonder where this would have stood if that award was around right now. This definitely would be a movie that would need serious consideration.
I do hope that at the very least, Jackie Chan, with all the faults he's had over the couple of years,
He got an honorary.
he would get an honorary or at least some sort of reward because he
Oh, he
broke
did.
what? Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
anyways,
he got it. He got it about 3 years ago, I want to say, something like that.
for all his
forever.
stunt work.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Well,
So what I have here is so obviously this award will be taking place during the 2028 Oscars because that's when we do the awards for 2027 films. This that year 2028 marks the 100th year for the Academy Awards, so they might just be trying to tie it up with a it's our 100-year anniversary, so here's the innovation we're doing. We're finally, after 100 years, celebrating this. There could be some just bullshit like that.
Yeah.
But it
Can't wait
does.
to see how long that show goes for.
Yeah, the Academy CEO Bill Kramer and Academy President Janet Yang kind of said in a joint statement, said since the early days of cinema, stunt design has been an integral part of filmmaking. We are proud to honor the innovative work of these technical and creative artists, and we congratulate them for their commitment and dedication in reaching this monumentous occasion. So, further specifics and the new categories rules will be communicated in 2027.
Yeah,
So we're not
you
even
care
allowed to
so
know
much
this yet.
about it. You care so much about it, and it's such an integral part of cinema that you waited this long to announce that you were going to give it a category 3 years from now.
Yeah, but well,
You
I will
care
say
that much.
no matter what though, this is still a big win because I
No,
do
it
know,
is. It
like I
totally
do know
is.
though that like this has been an extremely long and hard fought battle of getting like stunt work really properly recognized in film.
Yeah.
So
Well, and
luckily
that's
this is a
why
win. It just I don't understand why this win isn't being allowed sooner.
that's why it annoys me that they're coming out and trying to build it up, and they needed to do a joint statement. It's like, you kidding me? You could have done this in 2 seconds. By the way, new category, stunt work, because it's a very integral part of fucking filmmaking, and it has been since the dawn of filmmaking. We should have
Yep.
been recognizing this. Instead, they're like, oh, it's so amazing, and like we need it, but we're gonna get it in 3 years from now. Sweet.
That is the biggest thing that has me floored about this whole thing is we have to wait
100 years later, it finally makes the cut. Yeah, you care that much about it.
But hey, David Leitch, from John Wick, Fall Guy, Bullet Train, he has
That's my
actually
guy.
been he has been championing the introduction of an Oscar for stunts for a very long time at this point. He's been the host of a bunch of presentations to the Academy with a bunch of with assistance of like stunt coordinator and designer Chris O'Hara of Stunts Unlimited ahead of like this long waited approval. So I mean,
That's how
main
that
John
man got
Wick
his
guy,
start.
main
With-
John Wick guy has been fighting for this. So main John Wick guy is hoping for that stunt win.
Yeah, him and Chad got their start as stunt doubles. Those dudes have been
Absolutely.
were stunt doubles in the '90s for some of the coolest movies that you could think of. It's incredible. So
Yep.
yeah, they're all about it. 100%.
So yeah, I
Good
thought
for
this was
them.
really
But
cool. I was
100 years it took.
yeah.
All right. So let's talk about this movie that should probably be in the category.
Well, we will when we return from this short break. So everybody, grab your popcorn if you don't have it already.
I have
We're
some
gonna be we're gonna be back in about 3 minutes, and as soon as we're back, we're diving into that movie review of Warfare. So stay tuned. We'll be back shortly.
Meet Sarah. Now, Sarah was supposedly a very naughty bride. The story goes, one night she left her house to meet her lover. And her husband followed her into the woods behind their house. Now, when he saw the two of them embrace, he was filled with rage. And he killed Sarah. See, there's one little problem, though. That grave is empty and has been for hundreds of years. The town made the whole story up and staged that grave.
For what?
This is the plot of land that she's actually buried on. She was burned at the stake for witchcraft. For hundreds of years, the townspeople knew that's where she was. Your house.
Crawl Space is in production now. Help support the indie filmmakers in properly completing this feature length film by sharing the word or, if you're able, donating to its crowdfunder. Your help ensures that this film gets completed in the way it deserves. Learn more, donate, and support us by visiting our crowdfunder page today. All right, everybody, we are back from break. Thank you so much for hanging in there. So, now we're going to dive into our movie review of Warfare. So, with that being said, before we dive into our thoughts and opinions, we're going to dive right into budget, box office, how it's doing, and some cool fun facts that I learned about it. So, first things first, the budget for this film was 20 million, and diving into our box office. In the United States and Canada, Warfare was released alongside The Amateur, Drop, and The King of Kings, and was projected to gross 6 to 9 million from 2,650 theaters in its opening weekend. The film made 1.16 million from preview screenings throughout the week, and currently is sitting at an official uh, worldwide box office of 8.3 million US dollars.
Hmm.
So, I mean, it reached the high end of what it was projecting and expecting to make, opening weekend. So, can't complain too much, right? But this did
I hope
release.
they.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry, I just hope they break even.
Yeah, I think they will. I want to correct myself. That was not a worldwide total. I guess it is worldwide currently. So it did release April 11th here in the United States, but it's not releasing in the United Kingdom until April 18th, so another 2 days from now. So hopefully, with the release there, we'll also see the numbers jump for them. But first things first for everybody. For anybody who doesn't know, um, the synopsis of this film is a platoon of Navy SEALs embark on a dangerous mission in Ramadi, Iraq, with the chaos and brotherhood of war retold through their memories of the event. Now, everybody's names in this film, except for two, have been given aliases, but this is a true story told by the memories. Like the not this isn't a dramatization film. This is the true memories of what happened. And I say that because Luca, already told this to Tyler last night because we saw the movie together. But really interesting bit about this film is the film itself is based on someone named Ray Mendoza's experience during the Iraq War as a Navy U.S. SEAL operative, and this war action film was actually written and directed by Ray Mendoza himself, alongside Alex Garland. Alex Garland was more of his co-director, but Alex Garland assisted him in writing this film and also took on a lot of the what am I looking for? The kind of like I'm blinking on what his position was called, but like the military, um, like a military coordinator, people for film sets. He took on
The
that role as
advisor?
well. It wasn't quite advisor. It has a whole special name that I'm completely drawing a blank on. But just so anybody is curious, so Ray Mendoza is played by DeFaro Wuate, who is the communications officer of the main platoon we follow, for the younger kid. And the other member that name was not changed was Elliot Miller, who is one of our guys who gets severely injured. Who is our main sniper that we see in the platoon as well. But yeah, they basically wanted to maintain historical accuracy, so the film's material is exclusively taken from the testimonies of all the platoon members and is presented in real time from the main title, like from the beginning of the main title. And I want to say that because we all three of us said, like Luke, you said it earlier. Tyler and I literally said it after we left the theater last night. This is a short movie. It is only 95 minutes long. Like that's short.
Yeah, no, it definitely gets to the point. And I mean, as far as war movies are concerned, this trying to think of how to put it. This doesn't have any build up. It doesn't have a
It just
whole
puts
lot of
you in it.
setup, right? It just puts you immediately into it. The only build up is just when the actual fighting is going to happen, and then when that happens, it kind of doesn't stop. Breon, I watched it with him yesterday. He had mentioned that he had a problem with the pacing, and that just has everything to do with the fact, like you were saying, this isn't trying to give you a dramatization or a fictionalization. It's just this is how it went down. And you're with them from the moment the shooting starts to the moment the shooting ends. And the ending is abrupt as fuck, but it's supposed to be that way.
Yeah.
It ended. I looked over at Breon. I went, wow, like, yeah, that's it. I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting. I mean, it's in the name. So, no, this gets right to the point. tells its
See,
story,
I didn't
gets
know
out.
this information going into the film. I actually looked this up afterwards when we were waiting to leave the theater, and I thought it was really interesting because I think the abruptness of this film, the way it's set up, makes a lot of sense. Like we don't need to know all the information of why they were there. We already know why America was in Iraq back then. Um,
Oh.
so like it was war, and I really appreciate how this is very raw. It's a very raw film, and I think that is because it is straight from those testimonies. It doesn't have that additional story dramatization to make it more engaging of a film. I was literally engaged the entire time, and I actually thoroughly enjoyed this film, and I didn't really mind the pacing at all,
I
surprisingly.
didn't either. I agree with everything that you just said. It was just one of those things because take 1917 for instance, or
Sure,
Dunkirk.
sure.
Those are based on true stories. Those are things that did happen. They're
Based
just
on being
they are
the
just
big umbrella.
told more as a story
Sure.
than presented to you as no, this is how it goes down.
This is the closest to like a documentary film, but
I
still
love
just
the
a
way you say
film.
documentary. My God, it doesn't make me smile every time. Look, yeah, but also this has the benefit of being the new war movie that just came out, right? So now, after this one, whoever makes another one will now have been influenced or will take influence from this, much like I
Sure.
think this took influence from war movies beyond. And I can argue that a lot of the scenes that I've seen in here, particularly with the grittiness, I've seen in Saving Private Ryan when they stormed the beach in Normandy and shit like that. But yeah, this is the one that would just definitely just wants you to know what it is. This is how it goes, and it's not even about getting to know these characters. It's about, am I going to watch everybody die? Like, because that's
Yeah.
kind of what it felt like there for a
It
minute.
felt like for a second that we were trying to start getting a little rapport, like here's the characters a little bit, right? And then it was
Yeah,
like, and you're never gonna get that chance because a grenade was thrown in here and it's go time. We
and
have
it just
wounded.
took off.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
Tyler, we were just talking a little bit though, but like how do you feel about all that? Like how did like I want to give you a chance to also get your 2 cents in.
he's mad it wasn't Pearl Harbor.
You're getting that all show now. Sorry. Not
Yeah,
just
yeah,
right.
yeah.
I'll find my ways to sneak it in there. Go ahead, buddy. I'm sorry.
It's alright, no big deal. Anyways, from all the war movies and war TV shows that I've seen, I'll fully admit that the grittiness has definitely improved over anything in the past I've seen in the couple past 15, 20 years or so. I mean, I think the first realistic one was indeed Saving Private Ryan with the beach scene where they use actual amputees to have people with their legs and other limbs blown off.
Sure.
I think the second most grittiness I can think of at the moment is Band of Brothers. That was pretty realistic, especially with the memoirs and all that stuff from the other soldiers who were there, like Dick Winters and all those other guys.
What a name.
Well, his real name was Richard, but
No, I'm
Richard
just
turns into
that's
Dick.
fucking sweet. I love that name.
I know.
That's awesome.
I think the most intense would have been the Pacific when that came out. They did not hold back with what happened on Okinawa or really any other island hoppy, especially with the memoirs of Eugene Sledge, who literally wrote a book over his experiences. And Robert Leckie as well, who also wrote a book of his experiences. I have both of them, well, right over there. You can't see them, but it's on my bookshelf.
Very nice. Very nice.
And the least, well, I'm not going to say dramatic, but least bloody TV series I've seen so far was the Masters of the Air from Apple TV Plus.
This is on par with that.
Well, no, I mean, what I'm saying is, Masters of the Air, it's mostly just B-2 bombers flying over Germany and other places to drop bombs.
Mhm.
Now, it shows dramatizations of what happens to the pilots of them getting out, all shut up and all that stuff, but you don't usually see the carnage because they're either blown up in the sky or crash land in the ground. I'm also just shouting out for all that Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks stuff because I love those series.
Right.
But that was probably the most grittiest, most carnage, and most scream-inducing stuff I have seen in a movie in a long time.
I literally messaged our wannabes chat, Luke, and Dan, Tyler, and I all said after seeing the movie, like, they did not hold back on the gore. And I appreciate that because that helped lend it to that realism. Like, when we saw the clips of where, like, the actual Elliot was in his, like, motorized, like, scooter and everything was on set visiting everybody, which is lovely to see. Like, there, you actually saw the bits of leg in the street. So, like, those were all practically good done, not just digitally put into into the movie. So, I definitely love the gore and, like, the acting that even our cast got, that we got from our cast with, like, their agony.
Stacked. It's stacked.
It was really,
It's an,
really well done.
this has an impressive cast for a $20 million movie, honestly.
Yeah.
It probably has everything to do with the personal involvement of those that were involved, I'm sure.
I agree.
But I mean, that's just to the benefit of this film. The fact that it is the newer one to come out, the fact that it's A24, because I feel like A24 clearly is the only studio out there that would take a chance on this and let a first-time director and writer get away with the things that he got away with. It also, excuse me, it also benefits him that Alex Garland wanted to be involved. I guarantee that's the whole reason this gets made, is because A24 will take chances on stuff like this, but it's got a minuscule budget, but it's got a big time name attached to it. Alex Garland is one of the truths right now when it comes to filmmaking.
I mean,
So
shoot, Alex Garland, and I did find I was correct, military supervisor. He was the military supervisor for his film Civil War. Like, that
yeah,
was a huge film success, like war film success recently
Ye-
that I haven't had the chance, but it's been sitting on my watch list, and I almost watched it last night because of how good this was.
no, I haven't either. I gotta check that out. But this is giving me more hype for 28 years later. Like
No, that's
I'm
fair. Totally fair.
I'm all about this man's filmography right now. But when you stack everything up that got this movie made, it makes it makes sense. It looks the way that it does, and it feels the way that it feels, because this is just, it's like gritty filmmaking. It all lends itself to the scenario, to the budget that they have. It all came together, but like, it still has a really, really, really impressive cast
Yeah.
considering all of that.
I
Everybody in
mean,
here is very, very good.
just to name a few, obviously we have Defera Wu Atai. We have Will Poulter, we have Cosmo Jarvis, we have Joseph Quinn. Like, it goes on from there. Like, those are genuinely our top 4 build cats right there.
Michael
So,
Gandolfini, I'll throw him in there.
yeah, please do. I was just kind of looking at the top 4. So,
He's top for me because he's in Daredevil.
oh, that's fair. No,
All
that's
right,
that's
just
fair.
because you don't watch stuff with him in it does
I'm
not
literally
make him a
looking
big deal,
at the
Morgan.
list. No. I'm looking at the top build cast, going from most
You
paid
name
to
me
least.
one thing you know DeFaro's in.
He's top build, my man. I'm
I know,
pulling up
just
his
playing.
IMDb right now. Let's see.
I did too. I haven't seen, and no offense, the dude is phenomenal.
He
I
he
just haven't watched any of these things.
he's a younger guy too, right? Oh yeah, he was
Yeah,
born 2021. So, sorry, 2001. Jesus Christ, I can talk.
yeah, the kid's
Um,
24.
yeah, he's 24. So this is, not his first role, but I would say this is probably one of his major, more breakout roles.
It's just more
So
jumping points, but like, yeah, that might be one of the more, if not to me, the impressive thing. The names that they do have in here. Will
yeah,
Porta's a big deal.
yeah, I
So is
love Will Ford.
fucking, god damn it. What the, you just said his name. So is
Joseph
Joseph
Quinn.
Quinn.
Yeah,
I
I
was
was surprised
surprised
to
to see
see
both of
Joseph
them in
Quinn.
here. Yeah.
I was more surprised to see Joseph than I was Will.
Yeah, nobody saw that one coming.
Will's been
How do
in
you
some
feel about the
interesting
cast,
creative films.
Tyler?
Well, I'm not going to lie, I don't exactly know all of them from the top of my
That's
head. I mean, I know Joseph Quinn was in A Quiet Place Day 1.
He's good in that.
I know he was one of those brothers in Gladiator 2.
He
I
was
think
in
it was
We're the
Geta.
Millers. He was in The Maze Runner.
Okay, I never saw The Maze Runner. Okay,
Stranger
that
Things.
I got nothing to say about that. I need to get back on Stranger Things, truth be told.
He was in The Revenant.
Oh yeah, he was.
Did we watch that?
The one with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
With the bear. Leo and the
Yeah.
bear. That's all
Oh, I remember.
I mean, I do know.
I remember that bear.
I mean, I do know Will Porter was in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 as, Adam Warlock.
He's We Are the Millers.
I never saw that.
It's funny.
I had a good time with it.
Chronicles of Narnia.
Yep. The list goes on.
Okay, it's been a long time since I saw the Chronicles of Narnia. That's
Okay, it was specifically the Voyage, like the Dawn Tree, though. So.
I am
Sorry, Dawn
still.
That's still a good one.
Oh, it's a great one.
We're
Not
not.
everybody has.
We're
seen
gonna
it.
review this later, but I mean, I'm just saying since we're talking about it.
Anyway.
Yeah.
How do you feel about them in this, Tyler?
I think they did pretty phenomenal. I mean, they portrayed being shocked completely by grenades, seeing their buddy have his leg nearly blown off,
Spoilers.
and what?
I'm just
already
kidding.
talked
Go ahead.
about legs in the street, so it's fine.
Well-
Please continue that.
I'm busting your chops, bud.
Oh, all right. But just real reactions a person could go through, because people do kind of forget. Well, sometimes they do forget that these guys are 18, 20-year-olds, and this was in 2005, after all, when this took place. So, I mean, in 2005, I was 15.
2006.
These guys
technically,
are-
If I want to get technical.
Okay, whatever. But
We're 16.
as I was saying, yeah, these guys are in their late teens, early 20s. Sure, you're trained to deal with this stuff, but you're not prepared to see your buddy get blown up, a guy get blown up, get your bell rung multiple times by concussions and explosions,
Yeah.
sound of gunfire, all that screaming,
They
of
were
course, all the
they
blood.
were rocked mentally and physically.
and of course, all the blood gushing out everywhere. I know I'd not exactly be mentally sound for a little bit, seeing one of my best friends whose leg is literally being turned into an L shape. But I'm trying to get him past the wall, for Pete's sake. I mean, hell, I thought Elliot was dead for the first 15 minutes of the film after he got blown up. Because he looked dead. I really thought he was, but boy, was I wrong.
Somebody's getting some awards for production design and hair and makeup for sure.
Yeah, and tell
Yep.
you what, I personally, right now, I'm sitting at this should be a contender for sound design because the sound design was impeccable. Them taking the detail of having that that muffled kind of droning sound when they were within the explosion when they were trying to get out of their daze from it. Those are little attention to details because that's how you are. That is how you hear things. Everything is very muffled. So I love that attention to detail with the audio. It's one of my favorite things. It's a thing with even The Quiet Place that I love since it was mentioned earlier. So
Considering
I
I
think
once
audio
got a
design was really, really well done.
yeah, considering I once got a concussion once upon a time ago. Not fun, by the way. That's
think
pretty realistic.
Yeah,
Muffled voices and all that stuff.
I do wonder just how much of a leash Mendoza had. Because this is put together really, really well. So I question a first-time director being able to do this. I'm not saying he can't, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say
Well,
that
you gotta
Alex Garland was
remember-
probably there the whole time. You know
Oh
what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah. So they wrote this together. They were supposed to be direct side by side directors, but Alex Garland took a step down as more of a co-director because he wanted to focus on the writing, get the writing finished, and help
I
with the
wonder,
military
man.
supervision.
I wonder.
Supervision. So
If Ray Mendoza, right?
yes,
If Mendoza did this whole thing from start to finish, this man needs to get hired all the fucking time. this is put together so
Very
well,
fair.
and I mean, just the scenes, the way that they're put together, the camera movements and shit, like you're in it, and it works so well. Um, I don't know. I think the people that were actually involved were also part of the stunt coordinators and stuff like that. It looked like it based off the stuff that was playing during the credits.
Yeah, there
Correct me if
was
I'm
like
wrong.
one face that was blurred out, so I felt like it
Yeah,
had to be because not they showed for anybody who's watching, they showed every single member of the platoons that we got to see like they're with their corresponding actors. Some of them were blurred out, I believe, because of just privacy reasons, but
and the
somebody
family.
was yeah, and the family. But somebody genuinely like was like blurred out while they were like talking about movements and how to show the actors how to move through. And I wonder if it was one of those men from the original platoons who was giving them more that
So
military training.
I wonder if that's a little bit of a mind fuck. Because it did show that there were multiple members of the actual platoon like on set hanging out and stuff.
Yeah.
And they built that like to scale
Yeah.
on a fucking lot. And holy shit, would that be? I'm just wondering if that would be how weird that would be to go back. Like you're not there, but you're there. That is incredible how much detail they put into making that neighborhood come to life from what they actually went through. And then yeah, to your point, Tyler, like I don't really know what I would do either. When it was over, I was talking about it with Brianna. It's like holy shit, could you imagine? Like I couldn't fucking imagine. That's
No,
crazy.
on like a trigger warning to anybody. Like this film, if you have like major like wartime PTSD, this could be a trigger for you because
Very
it
possible.
feels that raw and that like
Yeah.
realistic.
Yeah.
I really appreciate the attention to detail, and it makes sense that we have such an attention to detail because of who is one of the main directors, like someone who lived this. So they're making sure that the movements, the way they tap out their troops, they're like, okay, the system that they do to like move each other into areas and walk through, like that's something that we don't always see in films. We see like a simpler version of
No,
that.
no, we do. We
No, we
do. Because
do, but I feel like
everything
it just depends on the film because we
it's
don't
got
get a
more to
lot of.
do. I
No,
think
hold
it's
on.
got more to do with the filmmaking because they really go out of their way to you know what I mean? Like, because you see it
Sure.
on cop shows, you see on military shit.
Yes,
They make
however,
actors go through the training. You know what I
no,
mean?
sure,
I'm with
but
you that this one felt different.
and I want like getting into why I feel it things so different though. Um, we don't get a lot of modern day war films. We usually get
Facts.
a lot of more
Well, not
historical.
anymore. Not anymore. But during the mid 2000s, we got a lot of them. I'm sorry, I just
Sure.
looked at a list like the Hurt
No,
Locker
you're
and
good.
shit like that. Like
But I'm just saying like
we got a bunch.
and I want to say since the early 2000s to now, it's been a lot more historical war films. That's been like the leading um not obviously there are more modern day ones that come out during that time frame, but I want to say the leading time periods of this genre is more historical than
Well,
modern
yeah,
day.
we have a
And
massive
so
hard on for World War II, don't we, Tyler?
Well, who doesn't like watching Nazis get shot?
See, there's so many World War II films.
so with that being said though, obviously like the movements we see in those films are different than the type of movements we see for troops now today. And so I think that's why it does feel more different to me is because we see so much historical stuff where the way the troops communicated and moved with one another were a little different than they move now. So, like, and I think that's why it feels so different and how I like that attention to detail.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely the first time we've had one just literally get in, get out.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
The mission
I
statement is
like,
right there in the title.
I really like that they don't play and like dive into, um, they don't rely on like the political dogma that was happening of the war to carry their
Yeah.
story. Like we already like we were alive during them. We knew why like what was happening in Iraq kind of. Yeah, obviously not as
Well,
deeply.
there's also no tropes in it either, right? Like I don't
No,
have
no
a pregnant
tropes.
wife waiting at home or anything like that. It's just they're soldiers, they're there to do a job. Shit's going south.
Yep.
And it showed them being more, well, quite frankly, more human than I have seen in some movies lately.
And this
I
starts
mean,
out with the best music video ever made of all time.
Honestly, that was Dan and I was cracking up to one another, but we kind of loved it at the same time because like that's shit that totally happens.
Oh, I
Like,
forgot all about that shit.
so
Brian
good.
had never seen it either. I was like, dude, you've never seen the Eric Prize
So
video? He goes, no, what the fuck is this? Like, I got something to show you later. So you're gonna
oh
love
my
this.
god.
That is the greatest music video ever made.
It's so
It
funny.
was definitely something that happened.
But it
And that's
helps too. For me, it helps. Seeing that, I was like, I know exactly where I'm at. I got the
Yeah.
time frame. I remember when this came out. I
You're
know
like,
exactly where
okay,
we're at.
the film is dated. I know
Yeah, the
what
film
time frame
is
we are in.
dated. Exactly. I was like, I instantly knew. And it was like, all right, so now I kind of get where all these guys are coming from in a sense.
And I
And
like seeing that bit of camaraderie before, because we don't the
yeah,
film after that part, there is no time and build up after they get into their
right.
places that they lock down for that build of camaraderie. There was a couple looks here and there, but once we get that grenade, all of that is gone.
The only thing that I would have liked more of that I didn't get is just letting me know what exactly their mission was.
Sure.
Because they just kind of pick a house and shit just goes down. I mean, I get they're watching people, but it's like, are we just
Yeah, so
watching
like
people? Are we
we get
trying to
that
gather
one like
intel?
we get that one like infographic at the very beginning saying that they were a platoon aiding the Marines, or I could be wrong, but there was a little bit of info at the very beginning on a
Yeah.
black screen white text.
It's
There
not
could
up
have
there long because I missed it.
no, like it in my opinion, it could have actually been we had a couple slides explaining a little bit more in detail what their mission was.
Yeah.
Like they didn't have to have anybody verbalizing where it's like, okay, here's the mission, boys. Well, we don't need that. It could just be
Right.
those infographics, and then
Yeah.
we get into the movie.
Right? That they make no mention. Like they're watching, like I said, they're watching people from a building, but like they don't state they're gathering intel or what. Or are we trying to get from point A to point B? That ends up becoming that, but that's not telling me why they're there. So
well, from what I
Well, only not.
remember back then, from 2006 or 2005 when it happened, it was like the Battle of Ramadi.
Yeah, so
I know I
this
probably butchered that.
so they are so this is follows in 2006 then a Navy SEAL platoon Alpha 1 that takes control of a multi-story house in Ramadi, Iraq. So this is during the Ramadi like whole thing in Ramadi, Iraq during 2006.
Cool. All right. Yeah, just that's literally my only knock is you should have just given me just a little more nugget of knowledge. Because at the end of the day, I'm like, that sucked. Holy shit, this was intense. But I was like, why were you there,
I
bro?
the little other nugget of knowledge that I would like to know what happened with them like faking the confirming like officer that would allow them to get their tanks to come get them. Because
Yeah,
they totally broke some rules and some potential court martials there. I would have
100%.
loved to have seen what the fallout what it was for that.
That's
No,
the
I wouldn't necessarily have to see it, even if it was an infographic at the end. I'm really curious about what happened there.
maybe
I'm-
honestly, maybe if like over half of the platoon wasn't blurred out, maybe they would have given us some,
That could have been.
Adam went on to like fucking open up a pet store and shit like that.
Sure. That's fair.
Well,
That's
it's
very
probably what I just showed you in the car. It's probably they got reprimanded. Well, whoever did it, truth be told, got
fair. Someone got
reprimanded.
reprimanded. There's no way they didn't.
There's probably a little bit of yelling and maybe a slap on the wrist because this was a intense situation. And damned if you do, damned you don't, and better ask for forgiveness and permission, sort of thing.
100%. And it worked.
I was gonna say if this failed and there was only a couple survivors, I'm sure the reprimand would be a little different too. So
Yeah.
they're very lucky that it was a successful, you know, rescue or evacuation than it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have to
So,
agree with that.
any other thoughts, gentlemen? I have one, but I want to make sure you guys don't have anything else.
No, go ahead and say your one, and then that might get me to run my mouth a little bit longer. I mean, this movie's short, you know what I mean? So
It
there's
is
only
short.
so much that I can really talk
Um,
about. But
I
go,
wanna
please.
talk about just very briefly because we were talking a little bit about the cinematography, how it's shot, the
Mhm.
atmosphere, and this is what I want to dive into. The atmosphere they did was great. We had uh the IEDs explosion go off, and like having them in that fog, the dust and just the smoke from the explosive. I love that moment just visually seeing how they're slowly coming to like the movement, like how people are reacting. But my favorite shots and everything of this entire film was every time they did a show of force, and we just see the the aircraft just blow through in the fucking warp of all the sand. That shot was sick. That was so cool.
Yeah,
I
that's
I
where the
really
bullet
like the
was.
cinematography. Yeah, 100%. That and
That
like
was
Yeah.
the
those
tanks,
shots right there.
the tanks, the set design, maybe Joseph Quinn and Will, you know, that's where their budgets went. But I have a gut feeling, obviously could be wrong. I have a feeling that the cast themselves took a lower pay for this job because it was like a retelling of such a crazy story and such an aware it's a big awareness of like we don't know what people overseas and like our men are going through when they are on the battlefield. So it's interesting.
No, yeah, I would buy that 100%. Alex Garland being attached to it probably helps 100% too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, I 100%. I could see them being like, you know what, we just kind of want to tell this really cool story. Well, you know what I mean? Cool.
Yeah. I have a old family friend of mine
I
that
did
I
air quotes
love,
for those who don't listen to us on Spotify.
but I would love to speak with a family friend of mine who I was actually he lived with us like on and off because he was overseas in Iraq, stationed in Iraq. So I'd love to hear like their thoughts on this since they were troops on the ground as well in Iraq and just kind of get their opinions on the film. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, it would. Tyler.
Well,
I actually have two things to, well, maybe three things to say, truth be
sure,
told.
go for it.
What's
Let's
up?
hear it.
Okay, for one, I definitely enjoyed the show of force with the jets. I never knew that was a thing. That was one of the things I learned during that movie because I never expected that to happen.
I was that days old as well, buddy.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, when I think of Iraq, I think of
Psychological warfare. It's a
psychological warfare, sand,
little
a
dip
bunch
in
of
the toe of it.
a lot of pissed off Muslims, and all that stuff. I never thought of all that stuff. That's just me pushing it just a little bit, just to be told.
Second one.
Second one is, well, again, I liked how realistic the actors were as the soldiers. Like, literally, putting morphine in a dude, actually jabs his thumb with it. Actually stepping on some guy's legs.
Okay, that wasn't
And-
an accident. That guy can go fuck himself.
Not that guy. I'm talking about the guy who literally actually stepped on the guy first. Like, okay, right into the belly. Yeah, I'm talking stepped on the like. Oh fuck! What did I hit? You just stepped on that dude's leg, you dumbass. I mean, shit happens, but the other guy, yeah, he can go fuck himself. And number three, I'm actually coming around to A24 stuff. I mean, they have made a lot of great movies, like
Yeah.
you guys said. I mean, I haven't seen Civil War yet. That's on my watch list, really. But I enjoyed The Whale, and the Iron Claw that they made.
Oh, they made Ex Machina.
Yeah.
I like that movie.
Yeah, they made the Iron Claw. You know, the Von Erichs and their horrible, cursed tragedy of suicides, basically.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And of course, I love Brendan Fraser to death, and him returning The Whale was, quite frankly, the comeback that he deserves.
So getting hip to the A24.
Yeah, it was A24 that I think produced, financed, or whatever it was.
This
But
one? You talking about this one?
yeah, A24.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I got jumbled up there. Well, I mean, they do stuff like that, man. That's their whole bag with their films. They take chances on everything. They're like the only studio right now. It seems like that won't say no to something. You know what I mean? Like it's got to be Searchlight Pictures if you want to get something like this from the bigger studios. But A24 just doesn't say no. I feel like Blumhouse wants to do that, but they're too ingratiated with horror.
Yeah, I feel like they're a little too intertwined into like a like kind of stuck in an area for them to be able to do that.
100%. Like that they just planted their flag there and it is what it is. It's like
Yeah,
they're definitely the house that like Paranormal built, you know what I mean?
absolutely.
A24 is close, but they still come out of left field with some shit.
All I know
I
Like
is
mean,
the
this:
Green Knight. God, I want to see the Green Knight.
hell, but like I never watched it. I was never interested in it, but it got crazy talking about was like Midsummer. Midsummer is a freaking like I never cared about it. I thought it was weird, but
It
like
is weird. It's a
it
good weird, but I think it's an overhyped weird.
I also felt like it was overhyped from what I was like what I've seen of it. But they did that, and that's
Good though.
we go from Midsummer to Warfare, like and everything else in between is definitely like
Yeah,
what A24 does.
Yeah, they're doing
yeah.
well.
They also apparently produced Death of the Unicorn, which
Yeah,
looks
which that
very
just
stupid, but
that
I'll
was
watch
just
it anyways.
And it's gonna slowly become you want to watch it just because it's A24. You're not gonna care. What's your last one? What else you got?
or was that
Um, I think that
I
was
thought
Thousand actually.
that was the last one. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, man. You're in for a nice treat the more you go down the A24 rabbit hole, honestly.
they got some goodies in there though, like genuinely. I might still go watch Civil War tonight because I've been actually Dan dared. Can I watch Civil War? I'm like, no. I was streaming one night. You have to wait for me. I want to watch that film.
Well, now the answer is yes.
Yeah, maybe
Can't
maybe
wait.
that's what I do for the rest of my night. But
That one with the trailers for the movies that are coming out too look fucking wild. Like the one with Paul Rudd and the dude from
yeah.
what the fuck? I forget his name. But that one
That
looks
was crazy. That was weird.
yeah, I'm gonna watch that one just for the sheer of it.
Man. But I think we're at the point, gentlemen, where we're gonna rate this film. Yeah?
Yeah.
Tyler, you're our guest, so please go ahead, start us off. What would you rate
All
this
right.
film out of 10?
Well, after talking about it again, I think I'd give it a 9, truth be told.
Okay. Does this crack the top 5 for you? Does it surpass your beloved Pearl Harbor?
By far, yes.
By far. Wow. Okay. You heard it.
Wow.
Fuck Pearl Harbor. The movie. Everybody relax.
Yeah, the movie specifically. How about you, Luke?
This dude gave it a 9. I'm gonna have to give it a 7.5. 7.5. And it's due to the fact that I want a little bit more knowledge and knowing why we're there. And yes, I know the whole point of the ending is for it to be what it is. Okay, I totally understand, and it works. But as an ending, it's very abrupt. So 7.5.
Well,
It's
that
kinda
actually
surprising
makes
that-
sense.
It's
No,
surprising
it
that we
does. It
didn't.
does.
I'm almost a little surprised that we didn't get just the wrap up of them like pulling back up, like maybe to base, like where they like launched their platoons from.
Well, after everything that happened, man, just to go from that, like it's just dead silence, right? And then it's just fade to black. It's like, oh yeah, they actually have to continue life now, and it gets you thinking and stuff like that. But
No, it does. It does.
just on movie merit, just on movie
Sure.
merit. This is why it's a 7.5.
Yeah. So for me, it's actually gonna go kind of in between the two of y'all. I'm at 8. So I really enjoyed this film.
Yes.
I really liked the being able to take another look at a modern war film that doesn't have all of those crazy tropes and all those like very like here's your atypical character here, here's your brute guy, here's your jerk, here's your funny guy. Like I felt like we had we didn't like we might have debatably had a little bit of that in this, but it wasn't like in your face. And that's what I really appreciate. Like the visuals in this were nuts. The sound design was impeccable. So for me, as like looking at this and knowing that so much was done practically, I really liked it because every time like I never hated the pacing. The pacing felt very natural to me because obviously that's naturally they actually made this to be the real time pacing. This is how long it took them even in real time. That's how long the movie lasts. It's how long all of this lasted, specifically in the house portion, because there is a time jump from when they were going and taking over the home to when we see it during the day and they're watching the streets and everything. But yeah, for me, it's an 8.
Yep, it went from that freaking music video to stuffing gauze into wounds to lying to your superiors to get into a vehicle, leaving behind an abandoned wrecked house to piss off families, and there you go.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, with that, everybody, we're done. That is our movie review of Warfare. Thank you, Tyler, so much for joining us tonight for our movie review. Great to have you.
It's a
again.
pleasure.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
Tyler's
Good time.
Tyler's been with us before, guys, on our old review of. I had it now. I'm blanking on the name. What was it, Tyler?
It was
It was the cave diving one. The Surplunking.
The Descent.
Thank you.
The Descent, yes.
I forgot
The
we
first
did The
movie.
Descent. Yeah, I forgot
Yeah,
about that.
yeah. So Tyler joined us before for the Descent. So yeah. But yeah, guys, we are the Wannabes podcast. I'm Morgan. That's Luke. We're your host for tonight. We shall hopefully we'll have Dreaded with us next week. But Tyler, once again, thank you so much for joining us. And anybody out there, if you want to know what we're reviewing ahead of time, join us. Go follow us rather on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and LinkedIn. By
The
looking,
trifecta.
yeah, go look us up by searching up Wannabes Podcast or Podcast Wanna. We'll show up either way, and give us that follow. But if you're on Twitch, you could go follow us over on YouTube because we simultaneously stream over on YouTube. And if you're on Twitch, or sorry, if you're on YouTube, come give us some love over here on Twitch. Make sure you like the video on YouTube because that helps us grow. And everybody, we are on Spotify, so make sure you head on over to Spotify, follow us, listen to the shows on the go. But for now, guys, we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Next time, guys, though, don't forget the popcorn, right?
Popcorn.
Don't forget
Don't do it.
Never gets popcorn.
Stop it.
Lots of butter.
Fucking come for you. Actually, that sounds kind of good. I might fuck around and have some popcorn.
I'm probably gonna have to popcorn watch Civil War.
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah, honestly, though, I think
That's gonna be me
Dark
tomorrow.
out now. It finally got dark. It's time for popcorn.
Yeah, agreed. All right, y'all. Have a great night.